time. This was shot exactly around the corner, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, how did you get into this kind of topic? How was your interest started in this kind of thing?
I lived here around the corner up until a few months ago, and I used to walk by there and never saw anyone because it wasn't that kind of part of day when they're actually open. And then one day I read an article about this place and I realized that what it was, and then I started going there to see. I'm interested in experiencing different kinds of worlds that I'm usually not, that I'm not part of, and I started going there to see what it's like and what they talk about while they're waiting and what's happening there.
And they were easy to approach, to talk in front of the cameras.
Oh, they're all different, so I can't say generally. There were people who didn't want to talk to anyone from the outside, a woman or someone who they thought I'm a journalist and that I would come with a RTL type of cameras or that kind of Boulevard magazine. They had bad experience with that because they had that kind of news coverage. So some people rejected me, and a lot of people were very happy to see a new face and to have someone who's interested in them. There without a camera or a team for a long time, so I got to know a few of them quite well, and then those were really easy to work with, or they opened up really.
And then they saw the result?
Not all of them. Actually, because we had a screening at Achtung Berlin in April where I invited all of them, but only 2 of the day laborers came and Herr Schröder. I sent all of them a DVD. I don't know. I didn't get feedback from all of them, so I assume they've all seen it.
Yeah, it's a kind of it's a cycle. Well, once they enter into this kind of cycle, it's designed for keeping them on the daily work in a way. Did you study the history of this law? Or, I mean, do you have more insights that you can share with us?
Well, maybe just as much that not everybody who goes there is on welfare, and that's not clear in the movie because I didn't want to make it that journalistic. But for example, one guy, the one who gets the job where he's asking for directions, the last one who gets the job from Herr Schröder, he's not on welfare. He has a wife who makes too much money for him to be able to be on welfare. So everybody can come. I could go and get a job there, except he doesn't like to give jobs to women because it's all heavy physical construction jobs, and the employers are asking for strong guys. So, but theoretically, everybody can go and get a day job there. Students or pensioners or anybody. But most of them are on welfare, and so the background, I guess, if you're really interested in this bureaucratic stuff, is that if they're on welfare, they can make a certain amount of money that they don't have to pay back, and if they go above that, they have to pay back a big part of it. Still, there are people who don't care that they have to pay back a big part of it, and they go almost every day. And then there are others who come once a month and just for 1 or 2 days to not go above that limit.
But from the employer point of view, that is a perfect toy to avoid hiring someone for the long term.
Exactly. I mean, that was what was also my motivation to actually make something with this, because I think that a lot of these low-skilled labor jobs that, there used to be a lot of these jobs where people even though they were low skilled, they were considered to be low skilled, they had regular jobs, and on most of the 80% of those jobs is gone.
Yeah.
It's externalized, and
Even if sometimes they need this kind of job like every day, but
Right.
they prefer to hire a different person every day.
yeah, it's kind of the neoliberal type of
Yeah.
thing to do. Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Uh, Question?
I have a question. Did you feel that the day laborers were ashamed of going there, or were they proud? Because a lot of people that get hard steer, they have this feeling that they should do something because then they are a vital part of society. And on the other hand, you don't have a permanent job. You go there as a day laborer, so you're only there for a day. And there's other people that actually work there permanently. So you could feel ashamed about, like, or not or you could feel self-conscious about going there. Did you get an impression on that?
The question is if you got the feeling that there was more shame among them, or other kind of approach to the situation.
It's hard to answer. I think that there was, some of them had some kind of shame or felt ashamed, but others didn't, because they just thought this is the way my life is, and sometimes I have a job for longer times as well, and sometimes I don't. And there's this one guy who's reading a paper about traveling, and I'm very sad that we didn't get more footage with him. It was just coincidences that we couldn't. But he's actually not ashamed. He's one of the guys who's not ashamed at all. It's his choice to live this way. He always works all summer, like April to October, in this, tries to get as many jobs as he can, and then he goes to travel. Actually, he's seen the world. For like 11 years, he lived in the French Alps and had his own farm, just by himself. Didn't see anyone basically. So for some people, it's a choice, and others, I'm sure, are also ashamed.
It's a complicated world.
Yeah.
So about you, like you are a filmmaker. Which kind of what's your story? When did you start to do?
I actually studied literature and did a lot of reading, and at some point started to make my own documentaries, and got into editing. And actually, at the moment, I do a lot of editing for other people. But I've done a few documentary shorts like this on my own as a director, and I'm now trying to get financing for a feature-length documentary.
About?
I'm co-directing this with somebody whose personal story it is. So it's about her father and her relationship.
Questions? Okay, then we thank you again.
Thank you.
Best of luck for everything.